Orange County's always been a really big hub for a lot of Hawaiian surfers. I was just a little kid, and they would show up, and they'd have all these bright colors and all these, you know, flashy wetsuits, and their boards were much smaller than the guys I'd seen before. And I'd always just go out onto the pier and just, you know, check them out from up on top of the pier, a different vantage point. And I remember, because I already skateboarded really young, and I'd skateboard around, and then I'd see these guys surfing, and it was just amazing, like watching these guys surf. It was just like, I gotta do that. I have to do that. And these guys were just turning and burning and ripping it up, and I was just like, wow, this is really, really fun to watch. So lucky enough, I had a older guy that kind of hung around our house a little bit, and he was friends with my uncle and so on, and he took me down surfing one day, and you know, pushed me into a couple of waves, and as soon as I stood up, I was just like, this is it for me. I'm just, you know, this is all I want to do. I surfed a lot, you know, every day when I was young, and I was just a street kid, kind of surfing. And then one of my friends that was my age was competing in surf contests, and I was like, hey, I thought I got good enough where a few of the older guys were like, hey, you should enter a contest. You should enter a contest. And yeah, so I went to an amateur event in Del Mar, actually. It was just an NSSA down in Del Mar Beach, and I ended up making the final and getting second. And from that point on, it was like every single weekend was like a surf contest, like on and on and on. And for some reason, personally for me, it was the only thing that, my only way out. I had to do it. I had to like, I was the grinder, like, not, you know, decent amount of talent, but just a lot of drive. So I was just, you know, I was, before I knew it, I was, you know, doing good in the amateur ranks. I became the national champion, made the national team, and when I did that, and then I turned pro, and then I became the World Tour Rookie of the Year, and then U.S. Pro Champion. And it was, it really just, you know, paved the way for my whole life, basically. You know, Huntington Beach has a amazing heritage there with the pier and all the guys surfing up there, and you know, they've had the World Championships going on ever since the '60s. They were having World Championships events, and you know, there was guys with helmets, you know, running through the pier, and then so Huntington's got a deep heritage, and then you have Newport, which is also kind of like the kind of punk rock version, you know, that, you know, Newport was a really kind of new wave surf generation there. You know, all the guys that started Quicksilver and a lot of the brands, kind of designers, and artists, they all lived in Newport, and they had a tight little crew there for quite a while, kind of in the early '80s, like polka dot boards, and you know, like colors, and you know, all this dyed hair and all that, and that was pretty interesting. Newport was a mecca for that during that time. And you know, you come down to Salt Creek. Salt Creek was always, the waves are always really good at Salt Creek, and they had a tight knit crew down there, and then, you know, Dana Point had, you know, all the guys from Dana Point, they're locals at Salt Creek. And then you go down to San Clemente, where I'm from, and San Clemente is just, it's, through the course of time, it's been a very hotbed for talent. A crazy, you know, like right now you have, you know, number 5 in the world, number 16 in the world, you know, first Olympian on the tour. You know, you have multiple generations of national champions. Like, you know, you have the 18 and under national champion, you have the 16 and under national champion, you have the 14 and under national champion, you have the 10 and under national champion, all from one little town. It's kind of crazy, actually, and then you have so much talent. This is like right now. I mean, it's just booming. People are moving from, you know, Santa Barbara, Ventura, Encinitas, all around just to get there, because for one, there's a quality wave there at lower trussels and upper trussels, but it's a quality wave, and all the focus and emphasis is right there. You know, so you have 8 and 9-year-old kids out there hitting the lip and ripping. It's crazy, and it's really, it's actually amazing. As far as my son goes, you know, like he started surfing when he was about 7, like every day, pretty much 7, maybe 8, and you know, he picked it up really quick. And, you know, before I knew it, he was, you know, doing contests and doing really well, and you know, it was. You know, people started taking notice of him when he was really young. He got it going early, and he was doing really well. And it was just, you know, for me, I came from a different type of background. Like, it's been hard for me because I was just a grinder, like grind. Gotta do this. I have to do that. Like, any chance I got, I would just like hang on to it. But with him, he was way more talented than I was. You know, and I'm not just. I mean, I was talented, but I wasn't like that, you know, like he was just way more talented, had way more going on, and it was like, I was like pushing my like, I don't know, my grindiness on him, you know, like, you gotta do that, you know, like, and I was just, so it was a bit of a challenge some years there, probably from like 11 to 15, like pushing, you know, like. And then I finally just went, man, this isn't really that cool. So I started kind of like backing off and like letting him do his thing. But he just, you know, he's you know, a 12-time national champion, you know, in the NSSA. So he's done really well. And I just truly believe that if I would have been somewhere else other than Orange County, I think things would have been a lot different for me, because I feel like the city and just the people there that I was lucky enough to be around, they nurtured me and you know, guided me and guarded me like differently than other places in the world. I think I really truly believe that, and I think it's just part of how, you know, the Orange County beach vibe is.